Hey, I'm here with the lovely Amy. Hello, lovely Amy.
Hello, lovely Karen.
Poor Amy, she's joined me for this bit. Hey, I'm here with the lovely Amy. Hello, lovely Amy.
Hello, lovely Karen.
Poor Amy, she's joined me for this bit and I've dragged her on a hangout, haven't I?
Oh, no, that's great.
So, Amy, I've told you that Prince Philip is a Russian.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts about that? Living descendant, obviously he's died now, but Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, husband to Queen Elizabeth II, is the grandnephew of the last Tsarina, Alexander, as well as the great-grandson of Nicholas I.
Yes, it's just really confusing and strange, because I always thought that he had German. I thought they used to say that Philip was German. I never heard that he had any Russian blood in him. So, yeah, that's really strange.
Well, I wasn't looking for him in this. I was just trying to look up because we've got the daughter, the granddaughter, and the great-granddaughter in the video I did yesterday, and it's all like that's how their linkage is to royalty. But the granddaughter and the great-granddaughter are auntie and uncle, auntie and niece.
Yes.
Anyway, those two, right? The Tsar of Russia's wife and Prince Philip's mum. They got into these nuns, being nuns, and basically the Tsar of Russia's wife, I thought was really strange. She didn't die with the Tsar of Russia. She died days later. There's just a couple of sentences. It doesn't lead anywhere else. It'll just say she didn't die then. It was recorded that she bandaged people up, but then she died of her wounds and starvation. And she wanted to be, or she got buried in this church in Jerusalem, which is, I can't remember it's linked. I can't remember if it's, I don't know if it's her son. No, it must be before that. Anyway, it's Alexander. Oh, another one made the church in 1888. But as I said, it was Palestine then.
Yes.
So she got buried in Palestine in a Roman Orthodox church. And the Greeks are linked to it because they're Orthodox. And so what that seems to me is that the Orthodox churches are breaking away from Rome.
Yes.
And that's what that is. And I know it was with the Russian Orthodox. That's what the Tsar of Russia. So they didn't have to go to Rome.
Right.
But of course Rome was the Germans.
Exactly.
So we've got this big link with the Danish. But in that royal family, with people coming in, including him, Prince Philip, they come from the Russians. And there's this big link to Germany and the Russians. It's not just the Germans, it's the Russians as well. Because it's Queen Victoria's granddaughter that married the Tsar of Russia.
Yes.
And then her great-granddaughter was his mum.
Yes.
So he's got that link to the English. And then his mum married into the Germans, and her auntie, which is the Tsar of Russia, oh gosh, I hope I get this right, the Tsar of Russia, she married into the Russians. They're all empires.
Right, that's right. They were all empires.
And then I saw on this, when I was looking through it, there was a Swedish empire, and you're like, what? Like, they can't all be empires.
I know.
And then, I actually said in the video that I thought it was about the 1920s when Tartaria ended. But that's when the Roman Empire ended. And that's when the Queen, we became a country, and then the Queen got the Commonwealth in the 30s. And it's when Palestine became Israel. And then what else happened then? The Tsar of Russia is killed, but he became the King of England, so that's all a bit bizarre. Do you see what I mean? It's all bizarre.
It really is. It's very bizarre.
I specifically tried to find out what his descendants were, his lineage. So he is half English and he's half Russian. So how did they become the Prince of Greece and Denmark then?
I don't know. I mean, it's like they're all related and they're all connected. I don't really understand.
But a lot happened, say, between like about 1910 and 1930. A lot happened and changed in that time.
Yes. It really did.
And I'm still really confused about Henry VII because I'm still wondering. I've said Henry VII was the Roman Holy Emperor, and then in the last video I said he wasn't. But looks like there's about 100 years difference in one of the places I was going for information. So it could mean that he still is that one. But that was the king and emperor of Germany, and they've got different dates. And then you've got Henry VII, who's 14 something, and the rest are 13 and 12. But if you add on the extra 100 years, it still could be the same. I'm just confused. But in our history, they don't mention the Roman emperor. But I'm just so confused. If you look at, I never put in to look up Henry of Germany. Never.
I know, exactly.
And they've all got different dates.
Yes.
Well, how sneaky is that? He was a Russian.
It says that he was Henry VII, which his German name would be Heinrich, from 1273 to 1224.
Yeah, but King Henry VII in England wasn't till 14 something. He was before Elizabeth I.
Yes.
That was her dad.
Right.
So I got confused, and so I said it was him, and then I said, oh, I don't know, it can't because the dates don't match, and he's the king of Germany and the emperor of Germany. There's two of them.
Yes, two of them.
With different dates.
The one that was king of Germany.
You can't have two Henry VII's.
Right, but he says he was the first emperor of the House of Luxembourg.
I know, but they're not the right dates. He'd have been ruling for about 100 years.
Exactly, that's right.
So then I said, oh, well, it couldn't have been the one in England then.
That's right.
But I'm just not sure whether the English one. Remember we did it yesterday with the day before with Mercia and all those kings.
Yes.
There's 100 years difference on this site, so it might be the same thing.
That's right. It could be the same.
But I don't think so. I don't understand. I don't understand any of it.
I don't either. Yeah, why would there be two Henry VII? There must have been one was the king and one was the Holy Roman Emperor. It makes it so.
Yeah, but you can't have two Henry VII's.
Exactly. How could there be two?
So that's what my video was yesterday. We would have played it before this one comes out, but that's I'm a bit confused. And then I don't understand this bit, the nunnery bit. Like, what were they trying to make, and why Jerusalem? Which would have, originally was Palestine, but when Prince Philip's mum was buried there, it was Israel.
Right. Because 1948, I think, is when is that when they changed it to Israel?
Yeah.
Israel. Yes.
And guess what? It's Israel, so it's not real. Israel. It's not real, is it? What they've done?
Yes.
The Jews and the Arabs arguing.
Yes.
But it probably isn't. They've probably just done all that to create the mess. But I still don't quite understand this whole thing with the Russians, because don't forget the Russia sold back Alaska to America in the 1800s for £5 million. So what's all that then? So that means they couldn't have just had Alaska. They had to have had, before that, they've had to have had the whole of America probably.
I know.
Maybe even Canada. And then eventually it's gone off, and then I don't think those names, remember when we did the names in Texas when they were all changing, they didn't look Russian, did they then? So they must have been changed and then changed again.
Exactly. I mean, all
They've been
this Russian-
changed, maybe for the Civil War, and then changed again.
Maybe so, yes.
And that's all confusing, because Russia did have its hold somewhere in there, and that's I called that Tartaria, but that's not the Holy Roman Empire.
I know.
But when you look at the flags, hang on, let's have a look a second. Hang on, Amy. Right.
Okay.
I'm going to look up, because we know what the Holy Roman Empire is. It's the same. I even found one of those flags, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't see it on my video here, but I did anyway. So let's look up. Let's look up. Tsar of Russia logo. He's the double griffin. He's the double dragon.
Yes.
He's the same as the Holy Roman Empire. Right, wait a minute.
Yes, I see that.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Still recording. I was trying to get the thing to move, but we were still recording. I'll have to check that bit in case we said some naughty words. That's the same as the Holy Roman Emperor. They've got the same thing. Right, there you go. Look,
Yeah.
I'm going to look at that right now. I'm going to put in, just so they can see it, Holy Roman Empire. Tsar of Russia. Images. Here we go. We'll go to this one. I'm going to change it over. Don't you worry. Because I'm trying to show people. But come on, turn over. Right, there you go. Holy Roman Empire.
Well.
Let's get a page of them. Whoops. Just got to wait for the page to link up. It's gone a bit. Holy Roman Emperor. There you go with the double eagles. I think they are double eagles. But they all mean different things.
Right.
They don't all mean the same thing.
Right.
So, turning the page, there you go. The Holy Roman Empire with the double. I don't think they are griffins, but they could be. Unless because griffins have ears. And they don't have ears. They do have bits that stick out their head, but I don't think they've got ears. Griffins have ears. So these are eagles, but they probably were griffins. They've just made them look like eagles.
Right. That could very well be.
Right, so let's go back. So back to him. He is also showing the double eagles. So he was part of the Holy Roman Empire.
Yes.
So who do you reckon was in charge then? The Tsar of Russia or Germany?
It seems like it was the Tsar of Russia then.
What, you think he was the leader of it all? Not because
Maybe
he wanted the Orthodox Church to break away from them, so he didn't have to answer to Rome. But I was thinking it was Rome, Italy, but it's Germany.
I know. I thought it was Rome, Italy as well, but it's Germany.
So who do you think was in? Who was the one that was? Because you know, like when we did Mercia, there was all these kings, but there had to be a supreme king.
Yes.
There was lesser kings, but there was. So who do you reckon had more power? Don't forget,
like
the Tsar of Russia's had parts of America, and then the Holy Roman Empire's had most of Europe.
Yeah, I kind of think it was the Russians. I was looking up and it said there's a theory about Moscow is considered the third Rome. It's a theological and political concept asserting that Moscow is the successor of the Roman Empire, representing the third Rome in succession to the first Rome, and then the second Rome.
Well, you had Rome's in your country.
Exactly. And it said the second Rome was Constantinople, which was the capital of the Eastern Roman Byzantine, I'm not sure how you say it, empire.
But they've tried to separate them all out and make them something different when they're actually all part of the same thing, because they've got the same eagles as the Roman Empire.
Yes. And it said after the fall of some Tarnovo to the Ottoman Turks in 1393, a number of Bulgarian clergymen sought shelter in the Russian lands and transferred the idea of the Third Rome there, which eventually resurfaced in.
Is that what the Russian? What date was that? Is that when the Russian, when they had the
1393 it says.
Oh, so it's a long time before.
A long time before. It said that during the reign of Boris of Tver, when the monk Foma of Tver had written a eulogy of the pious Grand Prince Boris Alexandrovich in 1453.
Do you know that Boris is Russian?
Yes, exactly. He's Russian as well. I think that
there's all these things saying that Russia's a big. Oh, you don't want to go. I even saw on a video. Well, they're the enemy. You don't want to go anywhere near them. Well,
right.
They're in the all the royal family bloodline.
They are. It seems like they're in all of the royal family bloodlines. The Russians, and then.
So what's this bit when they're really pushing Germany? I am so confused about. Because, the Roman Empire was still going in the Second World War. That was them capturing everybody.
Right.
Including trying to get Russia as well.
That's right. And I used to, back when I believed in the history as how they showed it to us, I used to wish that we could have went and fought against Russia but we were so depleted after World War II. But I thought, too bad we didn't go after Russia because I didn't like Russia because of the communism and everything.
Well, that's what they said, but it's not. It's something different. Like, I'm still really shocked that Philip was part of them.
Me too.
What the hell's going on here? Roman, German...
and Russian.
You don't think it's almost as if we're all in the same thing. It's all the same, whatever it is, we are in it, and maybe this is the end of it.
That could very well be. That's a good theory.
I think it had something to do with him dying.
What, you mean Philip dying?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because we feel like he didn't really just die when they said. We feel that he died maybe a year ago.
No, but maybe the Queen has died as well. Because she's not real on the television.
Well.
That's all cartoons.
Exactly.
What is this? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so maybe that's we're all in this system, and maybe they.
But what about us then? We had an empire, and then I realised that Germany was taking over Europe. We took over Australia, Canada, New Zealand, islands, Mauritius, Antarctica. So we were taking over Pakistan, India. So we were taking over places that weren't in England.
That's right.
Weren't anywhere near us. It's not like we were taking... Well, in the past we've been fighting with France, posing and stuff, and France took over us, and we took over France. France took over us, and so forth. But we are going further afield. That's why the Queen's got her Commonwealth with all those countries in it.
Exactly. Because it's all connected. That's probably why.
Well, you think, I couldn't quite understand it all, to be honest. Because, why didn't we... They never mention him being Russian, do they?
Never. I always just heard about the German part.
Look it up on your phone so you can confirm it for me. Put up Duke of Edinburgh, House of Romanov.
Okay. House of Romanov. It says that Philip is the grand nephew of Alexander Romanov, Nicholas
Well, it says he's the great grandson here. See, yours doesn't even say the same as mine. It says great grandson of Nicholas the First.
This says grandnephew of Alexandra Romanov.
Oh yes,
Nicholas
sorry, yes. Is the grandnephew of
First-
the first Tsarina, Alexandra, and the great-grandson of Nicholas I.
Yes. He is also a cousin to the Russian royal family.
Yeah,
Philip's
he's the third
children-
cousin of the Queen.
Yes. Philip's children and grandchildren, including William and Harry, are therefore related to the Romanovs as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
What it is it just gets deeper and deeper, doesn't it?
It does get deeper and deeper.
I don't know how much further we can go, but I wasn't expecting to find him in the House of Romanov. I couldn't even find out his bloodline.
I know.
When you look it up, it doesn't tell you.
You're right.
It was only because I was looking on this web page and it brought him up.
Yes, and then it says that when the remains of two children who were thought to be Maria and Alexei Romanov were found in a field in 2007.
But those are the Tsar's children.
Yes, and they used Prince Philip's DNA to identify them. Says this news, which was revealed in 2016. And then it goes on to say to add another British connection to the Russian imperial family, the Queen's first cousin, Prince Michael of Kent, is also uniquely
that's what I said to you.
to Romanovs. Yes, the grandson of Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna of Russia, who was a first cousin of Nicholas II. Yes, yes.
They're just all married off to each other.
Yes, and it tells you also about how they're the Queen, Prince Philip.
Is that why
and
Meghan was going on about her lineage and then the volume was too loud? Remember she was going, the volume's too loud. They didn't want me. Is it that she's from another part of the royalty or something? And they didn't want her or something. It's all just bizarre.
It really is.
I didn't think it would lead me to this.
I know.
And now I'm even more confused.
Me too.
But you can see it, yeah?
Tells you
so
that
who was it? The Holy Roman Empire, which was huge? Or Russia?
I just feel like it could have been the Holy Roman Empire, but I feel like it was Russia because of all...
But Russia was trying to break away. That's why they were making churches. That's why the Tsar of Russia was making all these Orthodox churches, so they didn't have to go to Rome.
Yes. That's right. Well, I just think that it just leads back to Russia, and I feel like the Russians are really connected to Tartaria as well. So it's like it all leads to Tartaria
what does
as
that
well.
mean for England then? What, have we been ruled by Russia, really, or something?
I know. It kind of sounds that way because of all the...
Was he really the king? And like I said, Elizabeth is the cover, and now he's died. We ain't going to see the Queen either.
I know, right? So you think that they have both died, not just Philip, but the Queen
I don't know.
as well?
We haven't. You know, when Channel 4 showed us how all the deepfake in the video at Christmas,
Yes.
and that's what we get is deepfake.
Exactly. So we don't know who we're looking at. We don't know.
Can't believe the Tsar of
we're
Russia's
seeing.
emblem is the black eagles, just the same as the Roman Empire.
Exactly. Just the same. Yeah, that is really...
And I was saying yesterday about, we had the same, and we've got a crown on the top. They've got a crown on the top.
Yes. And somehow, I guess America fits into the whole thing as well. I mean, they try to tell us we're independent and everything, but we're not, and we're still a corporation. And we're tied in with it all too. But they've led us to think that we're not related to royalty or anything like that. That we don't have royal, ties or whatever. But we do somehow because we're still.
Well, don't forget if you look at Ellen DeGeneres,
Yes.
She's
The
more
most-
royal than our royal family.
That's
She's
right.
related to all of them, either by marriage or by bloodline.
I know.
It's like,
So-
oh my God, I can't cope.
I know.
And then
So
what about the
it's like
Tsar of
this-
Russia becoming the King of England? Oh, I'm just more confused now. I don't know what to say, Amy. We've been going for 24 minutes. What else do you think we should say? Anything else?
I just think that people have to really start rethinking what we have been taught in history and see that we've just really been deceived and that,
Oh, hang on, I've
there's...
got something here. Hang on a second. Hang on,
Okay.
Amy. It's a tree. Hang on.
So
Right,
he's
do it again then. Philip, what? Say that again.
Philip is the grandnephew of Alexandra Romanov, which was Nicholas II's wife and the last Tsarina of Russia. He's also a cousin to the Russian
Right, yeah,
royal
because his mother, the Tsar of Russia, was her auntie.
Yes. And I think it was saying that I thought I
So
saw
how
where
is
it
he
said-
related to the Tsar to them? Because she's only there by marriage.
Yes.
She's not a bloodline of theirs, is she? She's there by marriage. Her children would be. I suppose it comes off her children. She's got, well, those all died, didn't they? So
Yes.
Maria gets mentioned. There's Maria.
Yeah, because it talks about how when they had that one murders of Tsar Nicholas II of Russia and his wife Alexandra and their 5 children, and it says the execution of the Romanovs didn't wipe out the bloodline entirely. Their modern relatives include members of British royal family, including Prince Harry. And goes on to say
Why
the Queen.
is he mentioned? I saw that in a picture just a minute ago. Up here there was a picture of that.
Yes.
Why is only he mentioned? Because William is as well.
I know.
And
I
Princess
was
Anne
wondering-
and Prince Charles and the rest of them.
Yeah, I
One
was
second.
wondering.
Right, so here we go. There's Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, Princess Alicia, and then there's Alice, who's the mother. And Alice, I think she's the mother of. No, can't remember now, but she's the one that's buried in the church, and I think they are cousins, and then you've got Prince Philip's family come after this lot. Oh God, it's so confusing. It doesn't lead on from that. It stops at his children.
Oh, wow.
But up here, we've got this link with Harry. I saw it. Hang on, let's go back up. Where was it? There it is. There's a picture of Harry, and it says, "How Prince Philip." But why only Harry?
That's crazy.
Isn't William the king then? Oh my God!
I know.
Why Harry? Harry's the second son.
That's right. So why are they saying about Harry and only Harry and not even mentioning William?
All the rest.
Exactly.
1 second, Amy. Let's press it and see what it says. Hang on. It says here how Prince Harry is related to the Romanovs.
Yes.
Why not William?
I know. And they're showing a picture of Harry standing next to, side by side with the Tsar,
Yeah.
Nicholas II, like trying to make them kind of look alike or something like that. So I'm not sure why they're so fascinated with Prince Harry, and it's unless they're calling
There you go.
out
It's mentioned in here about it says Queen Elizabeth's husband, Prince Philip, is related to the Romanovs through both his mother and his father. Philip is the grandnephew of Alexander Romanov, and Nicholas is and the last Tsar of Russia. So it says even more. He's even more related. He's also a cousin to the Russian royal family.
Yes.
Philip's children and grandchildren, William and Harry, are therefore related to the Romanovs. There you are, William's mentioned.
I was wondering if they kept pointing out Prince Harry because of the fact that he has left the system or whatever, and they're trying to emphasize that, well, he's still related to the Romanovs, like he can't get away from it. That's what I'm thinking they're trying to say. Like Harry might think he can get out of this system, but he can't because he's still related to the Romanovs. That's what I think why they're putting that special emphasis.
This was
on
2018, but it doesn't really talk that much about Harry. It just says that he's related to them.
Yeah, but like I think in the title or whatever, how it keeps trying to emphasize Harry's relationship to the Tsar. I think possibly they're just doing that so that it's a message to say Harry might want to be out of the royal family system, but how he really will never be because he's still connected to the Romanovs, and that's a big deal. It's just a theory. I don't know. I was just thinking that.
We're already left with theories, aren't we?
Yes, that's right.
Because you cannot add it up, and it keeps changing in front of you.
It does. It does keep changing.
But at least so after never finding, we've been on the computer. You know I have. You and me. I never found this connection, although it's obvious now because of his mother. When I did the video today, the other one that's going to, well, I'm going to do it as a hangout. It's uploading at the moment, and then this one will come out. But it's obvious then because Prince Philip's mum's related somewhere along the line. But she's not. But she's related to the royals. But she married into the Germans, which is the Holy Roman Empire. So I don't get.
It's like they're all. It's like they're all connected. Like you said, they're just all connected.
British people, when you work out that he was probably doing Hiles and all that, Philip, everybody's a bit upset about it. But he's probably got a bigger link to the Russians.
Exactly.
I don't understand what it all means, Amy.
I don't either care, and I know.
Except we're in this massive great change. Philip's gone, Harry's gone. Well, maybe Harry hasn't gone. Oh, these adverts don't stop turning up on the thing. I'm going to get off this one. Right, sorry, Amy?
Well, there's so many articles about how Prince Harry is related to the Romanovs, how Prince Harry's baby will be related to the Romanovs. It's like they just obsessed with saying how Prince Harry and his children are, related to the Romanovs.
Why did Prince Harry wear a near? Oh, he's wearing the same kind of clothes as the Tsar. Oh, I've got to look up.
Yes.
Oh my God, sexiest uniform ever. Well, there is a picture of Tsar and George V. So he was killed off and he became him because they're the same person.
Right.
Right. So which one? I've got the sexiest uniform ever, Queen Victoria with the Tsar and Harry. Or why did Harry wear a near exact? Which one should I go to? They've got the same
Maybe
uniform.
why did Harry wear a near exact?
Right, hang on then. Do you know what this? Sorry, Amy, I wasn't recording. Do you know what this reminds me of? This jacket here reminds me of the Hussars.
Oh yes, you're right.
And in the 1800s, do you remember lots of uniforms had these things on? 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, they've got these things like these little lapels hanging down. Walking down the aisle with his bride. Was wearing a rather posh-looking uniform. Oh God, he wore that to his wedding. Let's have a look. 1 second, Amy. Oh my God, yeah, Amy, he's got it on marrying Merkel.
You're right.
Just put a wedding to Meghan Markle.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Oh, it's all black.
Yeah, with those lapels hanging down, and that's a Russian uniform.
Yes, with those lapels. It's a Russian uniform.
Whoa, what do you reckon that means?
I don't know.
1 second.
Harry wore a military uniform for his wedding to Meghan. and it said that he had to get permission from the Queen. Her Majesty the Queen gave her permission for Prince Harry to get married in his uniform. It says that William, he wore the vibrant red Irish Guards mounted officer's uniform at his wedding to Kate Middleton, but that didn't necessarily mean that Prince Harry would follow his lead. And
Whoa.
yeah, so he just wanted to wear and they were having a discussion with Cosmopolitan's UK edition, and they said about what Harry should wear on his wedding day, and they had said that as he's no longer a serving officer in the armed forces, it's unlikely he would wear a uniform, but he could if he wishes, as he holds a special position as a member of the royal family. So anyway, people didn't really expect him before the wedding to wear the full military uniform, but evidently that's what he chose to do.
We didn't go to war when he married Meghan, did we? It's got to be something to do with the... Oh, 1 second, Amy.
Uniform, but...
Most bizarre, he's got the same uniform. Like
his might have been black too when it was military. Like, I don't know all the different uniforms for the military, but if you put it in, there's some pictures of him in the black, like, it's not full black. It's
there you go, there's the Tsar of Russia with Queen Victoria. And her husband's alive then.
Yes.
Was very impressed by the Royal Scots Greys and wore his full uniform as Colonel-in-Chief at various events, including his visit with Tarnania into Balmoral in 1896, pictured. Strange-looking horizontal slaps on the uniform jacket are really a cavalry uniform detail inherited, oh my god, from the Hungarian national costumes, which historically became a European cavalry uniform.
Yes.
So it's to do with Hungary.
Yes, well, Hungary used to be part of when they
Bolsheviks.
had but it said that his uniform resembled Nicholas II. Was it conscious or just coincidence? And it tells about how they're relatives. And the jacket, it says the uniform that today looks like a Yamamoto design, I guess that's Japanese, I don't know, is really over 100 years old. It's the uniform of the Colonel-in-Chief, I think you just read that, of the Royal Scots Dragon Guards, the old surviving
What does that mean then?
regiment. The current Colonel-in-Chief of the regiment is Queen Elizabeth II. Since
So we can't have broken up. We've got to be linked. They've got the same, almost the same uniform on. That is very rare to have the same uniform.
That's right.
Except for the lapels on the top, up here, on the top of his shoulder. He's got more of them, being the Tsar of Russia.
Yes. Well, it says that Tsar Nicholas was very impressed by the Royal Scots Greys, and he wore his full uniform as Colonel-in-Chief at various events.
Yeah, I read that out.
Oh, yeah, I just read that.
Yeah, don't worry, but I'm just saying, like, wow.
And then the Hungarian part, inherited from Hungarian national costumes, which historically became a European cavalry uniform. So...
See, they're all part of the same thing then, aren't they, really?
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different. I can't see up here. He's only got one buckle across there, and the Tsar of Russia's got two. But it's very similar. It's got braiding down there. So has Prince Harry got braiding here. I really didn't like her wedding dress, by the way. Do you know what I heard? I heard that she could not make her mind up about a dress, and in the end, there was no time left, and the dress she wore was too big for her. It wasn't fitted properly.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I think
It's one of the most boringest dresses I have ever seen.
I actually liked Kate's better.
No,
than,
I didn't even like hers or Diana's. They're all weird. They're all weird wedding dresses.
Yes, I know. It's
Harry
just
looks smart.
Yeah, I mean, I thought her veil was pretty. The dress was awfully plain.
Yeah, plain Jane she was. Amy, I don't know what to make of it. It's all heading one way. One way or another.
Oh, yes. I don't know. Maybe we're just always... Maybe Russia is so powerful and we're just always going to be under Russians in one way or another. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot to take in.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I know. It's just like everything in the history just keeps changing from what we knew.
Well, we're noticing things more because obviously he wore that to the wedding, but I never even noticed that he had those little lapels down them.
Me neither.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 10 of them.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 10 of them.
Right.
Oh right, that's not her husband, is it? That's the guy who became the king. So there's her queen. That's her son, and he became the king afterwards. And then there's his son, the Tsar of Russia, who became the king of England.
I know.
And don't forget, not only is he related to Queen Victoria, his wife is related to Queen Victoria.
Exactly.
How does that work out? He is the grandson of Queen Victoria, and she is the granddaughter, or the no, she's the granddaughter of granddaughter. Can't remember now. Granddaughter of Queen Victoria.
Yes.
So these two are related anyway. The Tsar of Russia and his wife were related.
Yeah, I think a lot that goes on a lot in the royal families, the intermarriages, and it said that Queen Victoria's connection to the Romanovs is what links many members of European royal families to the doomed Russian royals. Victoria is known as the grandmother of Europe, as her children married into royal families across the continent. So
maybe that was England that was in charge.
Yes, that's a good point too. Yes, it could be England that was in charge.
The baby looks a bit funny in the picture.
It's a King Constantine of Greece. The second of Greece's great-grandmother was a Romanov Grand Duchess, for example. So the Greek.
And don't forget, they weren't just Russian; they were Prussian. He was king of Prussia. I know it's Russian, but he was king of Prussia.
Yeah, Prussia. Well, I think wasn't Prussia part of Germany? I believe when they say Prussia.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure I read it that he was king of Prussia. She was. Their titles had Prussia in it.
Well, Prussia was a German state, it says. Prussia was a historically prominent German state.
No more.
And it originated in 1525.
What country is it now? Just asking, Amy.
Let's see. It might be Germany. I'll see, but I think it is Germany. What country is Prussia?
So we got a really boring name now.
German, yes, right.
So Prussia is Germany.
Oh, actually, I'm wrong. It says that Prussia was originally inhabited by Baltic people, related to the Lithuanians and the Latvians.
There you go. Latvia and Lithuanians are Prussia.
Yes, and let's see.
Yeah, and don't forget they took all those countries over in communism.
It was right. They took it all.
Although what it was is that Claudio says communism is common law. They've not been able to, they distinguish what a common law is and what a corporation is, whereas we don't. It's mingled so much that you might not realise, oh, you've been turned into a corporation and you wanted to be a human. But he says in Russia, it's separated out. He said they couldn't put the wall over their eyes. But he was king of Prussia as well. I know.
Yeah.
Because I saw
it. Says that the southern part of East Prussia and all of West Prussia was given to Poland in compensation for Eastern Polish lands, which included Wilno, I don't know what that is, but all the way to Lithuania and Ukraine and other Eastern lands that was taken by the Soviet Union. So I was wrong about it was Germany because it's actually Poland. Poles were moved out of those seas lands.
So then we've got a picture of Hitler in there on the side about something completely different, but yeah, the big link is.
So the Poles were moved out. And into the Prussian and other lands taken from Germany, and Germans in those lands were moved into what became the Deutsche Demokratische Republik. I can't do German. Much of what was part of the land of Russia in the Weimar Republic. So essentially there is no Prussia anymore is what they're saying. So I guess they gave it back to Poland.
And where did King Dracula come from?
He was, well, they said
he was Prussia. I know that we're talking about something completely different, but it's almost as if with the bloodlines they're all vampires.
Yeah, that was Romania.
Right.
Dracula. And that's, Eastern Europe over there that way. So yeah, that's I know.
It's a bit where we've got the same, basically almost the same uniform and as the Tsar of Russia.
Yes, I think they just really intermarried so much, but it feels like somehow, definitely England.
I suppose when you look at Harry, he does look like the Tsar of Russia, except he hasn't got such a big moustache.
I know, exactly. Yeah, it's like there's just such a connection between England and Russia that I had no idea, to be honest. There was such a strong connection. I know they intermarry, and these royal families are married to other royalty. But yeah, it's just a really strong connection. And it's probably related to Tartaria somehow.
Yeah, but there's England, Russia, Germany. Who was really in charge of it all?
Unless different people were in charge different times or something like that.
Yeah, but then why not just tell us the truth? They haven't put it together like that, have they?
No, they haven't.
Should we just put a pause on, Amy, and maybe we'll find a bit more information, or we'll just come back to this? Something will come up in the next couple of weeks or something, and then we can add a bit more to it. But I was so shocked to see his uniform, almost the same as the Tsar of Russia.
Me too, I know. Yes, I think
they're just all related.
Yes, they are. So I think we just it's just more pieces of a puzzle that needs to be solved, and maybe it's kind of fun and interesting to research and try to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So maybe some of the viewers might know some information or be interested in looking some of it up and see what they could discover.
I've got William wearing it as well.
Oh, William is wearing it as well?
Yeah, I'm just looking at a picture to show everybody. 1 second. Or maybe he wore it the same day as Harry. We're just waiting for it to turn up. Turn up. hang on. They've got William now looking the same. They've got the same picture of the Tsar of Russia, and there's William.
Oh, wow.
He's got a band round his waist, which the other one doesn't. He's got the cross there. Obviously, he was in the Royal Air Force, wasn't he? He's got pins on his shoulder like he has. Same uniform, though.
Yes.
Obviously, he chose something different when he got married. Oh, none of that looks real.
I know. That's another thing.
Let's have a look at that again. Let's go back to there. I just want to watch. Okay, she's just swallowing. And that doesn't look real, any of that.
Probably isn't.
She's got quite a big gulp in her when she goes in this little bit of video. She's got a big gulp in her throat. Anyway, that's something different. But there you go, there's William with it as well.
Wow.
William's wearing it.
I was looking at this one picture where Harry doesn't have a beard. He really looks different with his beard. I haven't seen him clean shaven in quite a while. You know, but now he has that beard. Just looks a lot different. It's like, is he trying to look like the Tsar with his beard and everything? I don't know.
The incredible link between Prince Harry and the Romanovs revealed. But why not? It's the same for William.
I know. Remember when Berezovsky, I'm not sure who that is, floated Prince Harry as Russia's next Tsar? It says, once upon a time, back when he was a British helicopter pilot, some Russians looked to Prince Harry to make Russia great again. As Britain's sixth heir to the throne prepares to wed American actress Meghan Markle, it's about the time when Russian monarch is seriously considered as a figure that could restore Russia's imperial might. Prince Harry is related to the Romanov dynasty, Russia's last imperial family.
That's it! He's broken away!
Yes!
He's going to become the Tsar of Russia!
That's what he's going to do.
Oh, let's just get off that one. Sorry, hang on, Amy. Something's come up on the thing. Whoa, carry on, Amy.
It says, in 2012, the late exiled tycoon Boris Berezovsky campaigned to reinstate a constitutional monarchy led by Prince Harry in Russia. It says he has more Russian blood than the last Russian emperor, Nicholas II, Berezovsky wrote in a manifesto for his Christian Democratic Party on Orthodox
What,
Easter.
Harry and William do?
He's just talking about why he's just saying Harry, I don't know. But he basically wanted to have a monarchy back.
I suppose they won't go for William, because William's going to be King of England.
There you go, that's right.
So you want Harry to become Tsar of Russia?
And then this is weird. It says, having learned Russian, adopted Orthodoxy, and married a Russian girl, he could and should become the long-awaited, coveted Russian Tsar and change the entire geopolitical map of the world.
But he didn't. He married an American.
I know, wrote columnist Tatiana Moskvina in 2010. To a certain extent, it is England's duty to Russia to give us Prince Harry, she wrote in the Argumenti Nedeli Weekly, citing among other reasons London's failure to save the Romanovs from execution by the Bolsheviks. Alas, it was not to be, and millions around the world will tune into their televisions for the royal wedding, blissfully unaware that Prince Harry could have been the key to Russia's revival. So isn't that crazy? I just happened to find
But
that
why?
article.
But surely it would be William with Russia then. Because he's the next in line. Why William? I mean, his father isn't really... Oh, they all say that he's got a different father, but I don't get that.
Me neither.
Thanks for that, Amy. I'm even more confused now.
Me too. Me too. But they wanted, these people were talking about restoring a monarchy.
Let's have a look,
Russia.
Amy. Hang on, stay there. Just looking it up. Prince Harry is related to the Romanovs, why not Prince William?
Right.
2011, a diplomat thinks that William, 26-year-old brother, should be crowned the king. Oh, that's saying William's 26, because this is done in 2011, brother should be crowned the first king of Russia.
Oh, wow.
Let's have a look at this one. Hang on. It's Harry. Tsar Harry. Russians who want British prince to take vacant throne just don't mention the Romanovs, which he's a part of. Some 2 billion people from the royal wedding on Friday between William and Kate. And it seems some Russians were watching their television scream with envy because now a leading former diplomat believes that Prince Harry, the third in line to the British monarch, should be off. I never heard of this before, did you?
Never. I have not heard of this until now.
Alexander. Oh, where did it go? Jumped. Hang on, just lost. Alexander, whatever his name is, Bronov, a diplomat turned journalist, thinks that William, 26's older brother, should be crowned king of Russian since Tsar Nicholas II resigned eve of the Bolshevik Revolution. So that obviously was something different. It was probably to do with the Holy Roman Empire. But anyway, let him receive parades, make visits, give dinners and offer new congratulations. It would, in his eyes, delight Russians like never before to have the monarchy restored, following a groundswell of Russian enthusiasm over the royal marriage in London when Harry played a star role as the best man. This is his brother, right? So it's when William, allowing the increasingly fractious Vladimir Putin, Dmitry, whatever his name is, currently Premier and President, respectively, to concentrate on politics. He said, "We have no royal weddings, and I don't see any overweight MPs, untalented singers and graduates. Looking at the wedding and its preparations in England, I would think that it would be good to restore the monarchy here." Wow, I've never heard of that before.
Same as me.
It goes on and on. It goes on and on for a bit, but that's
this guy Boris Berezovsky says he's a London exile. He had it's called Resurrection Movement Political Party, and he wanted to instate a constitutional monarchy in Russia and name Britain's Prince Harry as candidate for king. And he said that returning the monarchy to the throne would reinstate an interrupted chain of time and become a symbol of the rebirth of Russia.
Right, and so why did Harry wear that thing on his wedding then when he knows that he wants them to be... He knows they wanted him to be king.
To be their king.
So why wear the same uniform as the Tsar of Russia when he knows they want him to be king?
Yeah, was he trying to tell them something that he wished he could be, or something like that?
He's just relieved all his royal duties. He says, "I'm not stuck in that system anymore."
I know. And then he wore his military
Yeah, which he didn't have to wear. He chose to wear it.
Yes.
And this is from Russia Beyond.
Yes.
I'm even more confused now, Amy.
Yes. I am too. And then this Berezovsky, he wanted to have a British-style legal system, and allow anybody who could pass an exam and demonstrates their fluency in Russian and knowledge of Russian culture to become a Russian citizen. But he told the BBC that he doesn't plan to register the party, this is back in 2012, don't plan to register the party while President-elect Vladimir Putin is in power, since Berezovsky does not believe that Putin's re-election was legitimate.
You don't think undercover that Harry didn't go to Canada? He's really taking over Russia.
Now I'm starting to wonder.
Well, something's happened with... I just think Harry's gone to America, but they had that concert, and all those people there had the Irish injection, so I don't understand about that. And then, so he's promoting it, or being part of it, and at the same time the Russians wanted him. This is just getting bizarre.
Isn't it? It is bizarre.
Absolutely bizarre. But of course this is 2000... Oh, that was 2018. Obviously that's his wedding, and then Prince William... Oh my God, I just don't know what to make of it.
Me neither. Now, the article I was reading was all the way from 2012. Apparently, that's when this guy, this Boris Berezovsky, really wanted to have this resurrection movement political party. He wanted it to be, he said it would be, this party would be founded on the Christian ideals of love and freedom. Which
there is no freedom.
Berezovsky says, exactly, says he believes would bring Russia salvation. But, but he really wanted a British-style legal system, and he really wanted Harry to be the king of it. So, that's, I never saw anything like that before.
Amy, should we stop now? We've been going for an hour. Should we take a break?
Yeah, I think we're stopped. Yes, I know. We'll be here all day.
Oh, this is what I said about my last video. You go there to look at one thing, and then suddenly something else catches your eye. Something you think, oh.
I know.
Oh. So, Prince, I don't know what to make of all this.
Me neither. I don't either.
Anyway, Amy, we're going to stop. Oh, God, carry on.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's very puzzling. So maybe some history buffs would like to try to see if they can make any sense of any of this.
Well, I mean, I said about that Waity Katie that Meghan had come out with. I said, I'd never heard that. And Gillian said, I heard that. I never heard this.
Oh, yeah, I never did either. But Jillian heard it. Yeah.
About Waity Katie, when Meghan said that in the interview. But I'd never heard of this.
Me neither.
Anyway, we're going to take a break now.
Okay, Karen.
Thank you for helping me, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen.